Hey, welcome to Quest for Gear. This video has been a long time coming. Had the privilege to be asked to master a song by none other than Sean Cortright. Sean's from New York. I always want to say Nashville, but it's New York. I think he has ties to Nashville, and he's a really fantastic songwriter. His songs are very good. You can see this CD. I have nothing to do with this CD, by the way. He just gave it to me, which was nice. But I've not done anything on this CD if you happen to have a copy of this for yourself. But he did ask me to play drums on this song, which I did. I pointed the electronic drums. It wasn't. I ended up using the this Gretsch. What do you call that? Catalina Club Gretsch kit over there. I think. Yeah. I ended up using that kit. That was a while ago. So then he said, "Hey, can you take a swing at mastering for me?" And I'm not really a mastering kind of guy, but I kind of know what it looks like. So when he asked me, I was pretty happy to take a swing at it. He may not use my master. That's fine. At least I got to play. But I didn't want to just jump in and do what I used to do. So I had some pretty heavy talks with ChatGPT. And I said, "Dear ChatGPT, I suck. I would like to not suck at mastering. What can I do?" So it come up with a mastering chain that I've used that I'm pretty happy with, mostly using universal audio plugins. You can see, well, we won't ruin the surprise. We'll get into all this. But there is one Waves plugin because I don't have the limiter for UA, for universal audio. If I had their limiter, I would have used their limiter, but I used the old Waves L1 because I had it. So let's just close some of these guys down. So he's got a great little song here. What you're looking at, this one, I'm in Reaper, by the way. I'm monitoring on my Yamaha HS8s, which I think gives me a really nice, a really nice, clear hear of what is happening, a good listen of what is happening. I'm in Reaper. So Sean gave me this wave file, which we're kind of still debating whether this is the right wave file that he gave me. I've just emailed him and asked him to clarify. It doesn't matter at this point because my mastering chain is pretty set. So whichever performance he gives me, I'll just slot in whatever he gives me back, and I'll go through this chain again. It won't be a big deal if this is not the take he had intended to give me. But anyway, so the first thing we're going to do, I should say, mastering is usually a mix of art and tech. So we're gonna cover the tech first, and I'm also gonna say, usually when you're mastering across an entire project. Say you're doing an entire vinyl record or an entire CD or an entire digital release. In this case, he's only releasing this one song as a single. So I'm kind of mastering one song to nothing. You know what I mean? Whereas, if you're going to do 20 minutes aside on a vinyl record, I'm just pointing at my record player as I say record. If you're going to do 20 minutes aside, side A, side B, you would typically master all the songs across each other. And what is mastering? It's not the mix. The mastering is preparing the master, like the final copy that is going to represent this project for forever hereafter. And it involves making sure all the songs are at the right level, the right tone, and they sound good together, and they're going to compete commercially without slamming the bejesus out of them. And master is like making the master mold so that you can reproduce this thing later and copy it, right? So he's only given me one track. Now let's take a look. So we're going to start with the technical before we get into the artsy magic. I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to go to media source, or source properties, I'm sorry. And this is going to give me some wave information of what Sean gave me. So you can see here, it's a sample rate of 44/100. That's fine. And he gave me a bit sample of 24-bit. Okay. I don't know if he's expecting a 24-bit back, but I'm going to give him a 16-bit back. And if he doesn't like it, I will then change gears and I'll give him a 24-bit. When Todd Tobias, I just recently had my project remastered by Todd Tobias, and he gave me 24 bits back, and it kind of threw me at the end. I would have actually preferred Todd give me 16 bits back. So I'm going to give Sean 16-bit waves back because that's what I would have preferred as a customer. Okay. So the tech part of this is we need to know what he gave me and what I'm going to give him back. So he gave me a 44-100 and a 24-bit. I'm going to give him back a 44-100 16-bit. All right, let's check this song out pre-mastered. Now I got to say his mix is pretty good, pretty lively, pretty ready to go, but the mastering can definitely sweeten it. So let's just check most of this song out here.
We interrupt this program with a special bulletin. Authorities report a crazy man is on the loose. I repeat, a crazy man is on the loose. Citizens are urged to remain indoors until further notice.
Crazy man, leaving down the road in my mind. Umbrella in hand, it's a windy day. Goes inside out, then he throws it away. Crazy man. Drifting through the trees, lost in the tide. Ain't got a map, just along for the ride.
So not bad. I'm going to skip ahead. Spoiler alert. Here's what I come up with for the master. And I'm going to go right into the song here.
Crazy man, leaving down the road in my mind. Umbrella in hand, it's a windy day. Goes inside out, then he throws it away. Crazy man, drifting through the trees, lost in the tide.
Now, if we can do a better comparison here, I'll pull up the two files. So here's the two files. Here's the first one. Here's what I did. So let's just hear his real quick, and then I'll hit play on this one really quick. So.
We interrupt this program with a special bulletin. Authorities report a crazy man is on the loose. I repeat, a crazy man is on the loose. Citizens are urged to remain indoors until further notice.
Crazy man.
And the mastered one.
We interrupt this program with a special bulletin. Authorities report a crazy man is on the loose. I repeat, a crazy man is on the loose. Citizens are urged to remain indoors until further notice.
Crazy man, leaving down the road in my mind.
So for my ear, the difference between the mixed down and the mastered one that I mastered, the difference is a little icing on the cake, a little bit of excitement, a little more brighter, a little louder, a little closer to a commercial release, in my opinion. What was I going to say about that? Okay, listening, I'm recording on my phone right now, kind of just pointing at things, and you're listening on YouTube, and God knows if you're on your phone, a tablet, a laptop, headphones, I don't know how you're listening. So it's near impossible to tell the difference between the two. Maybe I'll provide these files. I don't know. I'd have to talk to Sean about that, or maybe he'll do a video about it, or maybe he'll provide the files. I don't know. But anyway, the only real way you can actually hear everything going on is if you were sitting where I'm sitting right now, which is not possible. But let's just carry on. And how did we get here? I'm so far happy with what I've done here, but Sean's the final say on it. Okay, so I want to point out another thing I did. I'm going to go ahead and stop listening to this. And I'm going to go back. This is the working track. So basically this is just a copy of this up here. And then I've got my, what I did when I mastered it out, my chain. We'll go through the chain, but I want to say another thing that I did. If I put my timeline there, I'm just going to turn things down a little bit. And I'm going to hit spacebar. The other thing I did is I used, let's go turn this down. I used my, my spec analyzers, right? So I've got one to my right. You can see my spec analyzer dancing to the right. And then if I turn off my light, let's turn my light off here. This spec analyzer. So what my left and right spec analyzers do in my desk is it allows me to see the hill. You can see the left one and the right one. It lets me see that hill. And if you play a commercial vinyl or a commercial CD especially, you'll see they all have a nice hill to them. So if you put on a high fidelity, something recorded very nice, like maybe Pink Floyd, or even something modern, like maybe a Pearl Jam CD or something, you'll see that hill, right? And so you want to make sure you got enough of the whole frequency spectrum. And that's what I did with this too, is I made sure, nothing was really lacking and nothing was really clipping. So I did use, analog spec analyzers. Well, I suppose they're digital, but analog signal flows into them. You can get a spec analyzer software on in your DAW. I think there's one called Paz. I think Waves made ones, but anyway, that was part of my chain. All right, let's turn the light back on here. Now, let's check. I'm gonna put my volume back up. Let's check my mastering chain. What did I use and why did I use it? Okay, so I started off with the UAD Cambridge EQ. Let's just overview here. We got an EQ. We got the Shadow Hills as a mastering compressor. We got the UAD Ampeg ATR 102 as a tape sim, which provides, a little bit of compression, a little bit of saturation. And then we've got a limiter. I strapped a limiter to the back. Now, I didn't want to squeeze the crap out of this song, but I did strap a limiter on the back just to tame the highest highs. And if you look at my final wave, which is this one, you'll see I did not, it's not a flat square like an Arctic Monkeys CD where somebody absolutely hammered the bejesus out of those songs, So that's part of the loudness war. So that we play the song, you just hear like, we wanted some dynamics left. And those dynamics are, you can see the fact that there are hills, jagged curves in the hills. So, all right. Again, that chain, UAD Cambridge EQ. So pop that bad boy up. That looks like this. This is a Cambridge, a mastering quality EQ. All right, UAD Shadow Hills, Universal Audio Shadow Hills mastering compressor. This thing's beautiful and it sounds gooey and jelly and warm and vibey and vintage on everything. You just put this plugin in and it sounds great. I'm not affiliated with UAD or Waves, by the way. I don't care if you buy them or not. It's nothing to do with me. UAD Ampeg Ampex ATR 102 is a tape sim. I figured Sean would appreciate that. And the L1 limiter is by Waves, and this is what I strapped on the end just to make sure. You can see I just have it at 0.1. I just wanted to make sure none of them little gremlins got through. At the same time that we were LUFS, well, that's the other thing. I got a meter on here, a LUFS meter. You'll see. I'll just press play for a minute. The LUFS is pretty much at minus 12 where I want it. Loudness units at full scale. That's what LUFS is. So, yeah. So how did I tweak each one of these? Well, the Cambridge EQ, when I first got the track from Sean, I spent a lot of time listening to the song. Listen to it. And you're listening for his voice. You're listening for the guitars. You're listening for the hi-hats and the drums and the kick drum and the reverb. I can really hear the reverb coming through. You're listening to every little thing in the song to make sure that you're not ruining anything as you're mastering, So what I actually did with this is I grabbed a preset. In this case, I grabbed one called, I went to, I don't dare hit it because I don't want to wreck what I've done. Mixbus, and I grabbed Mixbus Brighton, okay? I went through all these presets until I found one that was the best. Some were terrible, some were pretty good, and some were the best. So I hit that, and then what I did was I tweaked out what I thought. Now, that preset had this lift at, what frequency is that? Let's see if it'll tell me. I don't know. That looks to be like 150 or something. It had that hill a lot higher. I didn't like it. I brought it down a little bit. And I just kind of played with this sort of high-end lift until it sounded right to me. So that's how I did the tonal correction of the EQ and the tone in general, like the tone vibe in general of the song. So the next thing I did is the Shadow Hills mastering compressor. Same thing. I grabbed myself a preset that I liked. So I went over here. I said, give me my master presets. Bus dual mono. Again, I don't dare hit that button because I'll wreck what I did. Because then after that preset, I tweaked this thing. I did not want dual mono. So I switched it over to stereo, right? when you go to stereo on the Shadow Hills, half this thing doesn't do anything. Half these controls I can show you. I can go wee wee wee. None of this crap does anything now, because when you go to stereo, these are the controls you use. I tweaked the optical gain down a little bit. I changed from the steel transformer to the middle. I can't remember. It's not nickel. What is it? There's steel and nickel. I can't remember what the middle one is. But to my ears, out of the 3 transformers, virtual transformers, that one sounded best. I turned the discrete gain down a little bit because it had it cranked up. And now, you know.
It's a windy day.
Let me turn this thing off.
He throws it away. Crazy man, drifting through the trees, lost in the tide. Ain't got a map, just along for the ride.
It just adds an expensiver sounding vibe to it. I don't know if my phone camera and YouTube and all that's going to pick that up, but it's a beautiful plugin. I wish I would have used it when I mastered my last album, but I botched the master of my last album. I just rushed through it. I ended up having Todd Tobias do it for me. But anyway, next time for sure I'll just put it through this. It'll just sound expensive. Anyway, then I did the UAD ATR 102 tape. I always use Vance Powell's settings. He's a Nashville guy. I go to 15 IPS, which is how this thing comes when you turn it on. I go to CCIR. I'm going to go ahead and admit I don't know what CCIR does. I just do it because Vance Powell does it. And it just ends up sounding tapey, you know? Just subtle, very subtle. Maybe the last 2 or 3%. And then the final thing, as I mentioned before, is I did the L1. I strapped the L1 across it. So again, UAD Cambridge EQ, UAD Shadow Hills Mastering Compressor, the UAD Ampex ATR 102, the L1, and then the meter down there. And I got, you know, something I'm pretty happy with. Let's just pop these up real quick again. And if Sean wants different, you know, we can do different. If he wants a different tone, he wants to change stuff. But yeah. Sorrowful thoughts unraveled in there. Crazy man, crazy man. I think it stands up. And I mean, the mix is pretty good as it is. The mix he gave me was decent anyway. But this is just the last 5% sprinkle magic, you know, the last little bit of icing on the cake. So I'm kind of happy with it. If he wants things changed, we can change them. But yeah, this is what we've done. So it helps that it's a decent, you know, it's a good song. Like it's an easy song to listen to. It's not like Arctic Monkeys or something like that. Like I don't listen to a lot of Arctic. What I'm saying is it doesn't hurt my ears. It doesn't hurt my ears. It's a good song, in fact. So yeah, that's where we're at with it. Some home amateur mastering here at the Home Amateur Studio, home of Quest for Gear, also home of the Shoutout List, where we got Mike Forrester at I Love Recording, who's taking a little break, but soon to be back, I hear. Warhard Arts, Searching for Tone. John Dotson, Full Blast Studio, Framing the Sound at TC Connor, Mirage at Mirage 69. Sean Cortright himself is on the list. 111 at 111-5912. We got Keiko FX Designs at Keiko FX Designs. We got GWUGLUUD77 at GWUGLUUD. And then we got Black Lily at Bioglass Music, who has a cool music video you should go check out. We've got Martin Parrott 1978 at Null. And we've got Heather Learns Guitar. And then we got Vic the Synth Guy, who is quickly outpacing me in number of videos. He just makes videos, cool synth videos and gear videos all day long. Hey, this has been Quest for Gear. And hit that like and subscribe button if you feel like it. All right, thanks for watching.